Hey, hello everybody, welcome back to one more Tom Clancy's Division 2 video. So today's video we're gonna be taking a look at title update 5 that just dropped, right? So I just jumped in the game. I was trying to something else. I was actually working on trying to work for the next video that's probably coming after this, and I actually got surprised though. So if we go to the build, right, this is the build that I told you guys I was working behind the scenes on, waiting for the title update 5. This is the same build that I post a picture on my community task on my channel, talking about how much damage I was doing with the secret mine. So this is kind of like a secret mine build, right? And I saw a huge increase on it. As a fact, whoever had like a secret mine, and I think you guys got a huge buff, because remember on the PTS I show you guys a little bit of how the skill builds were hitting really hard, but they gave us a build, right? I didn't have my build to check out or to see the difference, how much actually the build was gonna get increased. I just had builds that they gave us. But now, having my build that I had before the title update and seeing the difference after the title update is dropped, we did have a huge buff though. We did have a huge buff, and I'm gonna go through it with you guys. So this is the build, right? And this is not a build video I'm gonna show you guys, because this build is not complete. It's far from complete. I was just working on it. These 3 pieces I want to work on them. But if you guys remember, I showed you guys the secret build, and it was hitting for I think 526k damage, right, for the explosive. So if we go in the cluster right now, I am hitting for 471,000 damage, and my cluster before the title update, I believe it was hitting 250 to 270k damage on the cluster secret mine. And the cooldown I do not remember, but it was a lot higher than this. This is 13 seconds, right? But now if you go on the community tab that I have on my channel, I show you guys explosive secret mine damage with a cooldown, right? If you go there, you'll see I had a cooldown. It's kind of blurry, but I'll show you guys. The cooldown was 28.1 second on the cooldown, and the damage was 526,000 damage for the explosive. Now if we go on it, right, I have a 20.7 second cooldown with a 942,000 damage on my explosive secret mine. The same build is a fact. You can check right here. If you see on the top, skill power 3154 skill power. If you go on that picture, I think I'm gonna put it on the screen, but if you go on there, you'll see that's the same skill power. So this is the same build. I didn't change it after that. I went from 526 damage to 942, and the cooldown went down 8 seconds. I think that's a huge buff, but now we'll see why, right? Let's take a look at the mods. If you see my mods, I didn't show that much on the picture, but if you see my mods, I have a mod that gives me 78% damage and another one that gives me 64% damage. I never had not even close to that, and I think that's where the buff is coming for everybody. So if you had a skill build before, especially a secret mine build, I think you're gonna get a huge buff. I'm almost 1 million. You guys should be hitting 1 million right now, and the reason why is because I believe that 78% was from a 8% damage that I had on my secret mine, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember. I just put the build together. Like I said, I was working on it. I don't remember exactly. I don't have a footage, but it was not even half of what they gave us on the mods. And I think the mods are where we're getting the huge buff for all the skill builds. And if you notice on the picture, it has 24.2% cooldown reduction, and that's another change to this title update. So now we do not have cooldown reduction. Now what it's called, it's skill haste. I don't know how much a difference they are, but it's kind of the same thing. They do the same thing. It's cooldown for your skill builds, right? So skill haste was what we knew from the Division 1, and then they brought cooldown reduction. Now they bring it back to skill haste. So skill haste is gonna be the new cooldown reduction. I had 24.2% cooldown reduction, and now that same mod got a buff to 121% skill haste. That's why it went down from 28 seconds to 20 seconds on the cooldown, and the damage went up like I said, a lot, from 626 to 942 damage. I believe I'm gonna put this build to 1 million for sure, and that's gonna be for all the skill mods. If you go on the turret, for example, you'll see that I have a 78% damage on the turret. I didn't have that, so that's gonna go for all the skills, right? The mods change. The mods is gonna be a huge increase for your skill builds. And now that I'm showing you guys this, if you check on the bottom, right, this one is red. Let me show you actually the one on the Seeker Mine. There is a change to the mods that comes with the specialization. They used to have a requirement, but now they don't. So for example, right now I do have the survivalist. I have the survivalist specialist on. So if I go on my Seeker Mine, which has the mods, the mod that has, for example, this one, the magnetic disc, it has 80% skill haste, and now it has no requirement at all. So that goes for all the specialization mods for your skills. But the only requirement actually is that you have to have that specialization equipped for that mod to be unlocked. So that's the only requirement. But other than that, I think that was a good change, because even the mods from the specialization was a requirement. So that's a good change. So as a fact, we have the survivalist now that we're talking about it. So let's actually try put the demolitionist on and see how much of a boost we get. Because if you go right here, right, demolitionist, this perk right here, it says 25% increased explosive damage, affect explosive grenades, skills and effects. So that's another 25% extra damage. So let's put this demolitionist on and see what happens, right? So just now we had a skill build that had a cluster with 471. So now we have a cluster that hits for 500. So that's 500,000. So and we got a 1 million on the Seeker Mine, dude. So we got 1 million damage on the Seeker Mine, the explosive one, just by equipment that changing from survivalist to demolitionist. So that you see that we have a huge boost. A lot of people now is gonna have like a 1 million damage Seeker Mines out there, and there is another one that had like 1 million damage on the PTS, which was the Bombardier. Now I do not have that unlocked because I was never interested on it. So see right here, it's locked, so I'm gonna have to go and unlock this and see how much it hits, because on the PTS was hitting for over 1 million and hits a lot harder than the Seeker Mine. So I want to check that out and see how much it does right now. Like I said, this is not a build video. My build is not complete. I cannot imagine how much I'm gonna be doing with this skill build after I complete it. So just another skill real quick. This is the build right here. It's my PvP pulse build that I've been working on. I've been using lately. As a fact, on my latest video, me and Mr. Meme and the boys, we were doing some PvP in the DARKZONE. This is the build I used, right? And my pulse before was, I even said in the video, it was about 30 seconds cooldown. To be more exact, I think it was 36 cooldown on it. Now, if I go on the same build that I just used yesterday, if I go on my pulse now has 15-second cooldown. So everything on skills wise is getting a buff because of the mods. So the mods are where we're getting the buff for the skills. So all the skills, just start looking for mods, skill mods. That's where the buff is coming for the skill builds. I think we're gonna see a lot of skill builds now in the game, because we did have a huge increase on the mods when it comes to like damage and skill haste. I don't know much about anything else. I just wanted to show you guys. This one was very interesting for me. I was actually intrigued what I saw. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know how much of a difference, how much of a buff did you get on your skill builds, especially for some of you guys that were giving me suggestions what I should do with skill build. So I never really played with skill build since Division 1. I played a little bit, just try it out, and then I always do gun because I like shooting more than using skill builds. So I'm interested to try skill builds though, because it's something new. I want to do something different, right? So let me know, give me your opinions, and I'm actually excited for this. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the video in here. Hope you guys enjoy. I hope I gave you guys some information if you guys didn't know. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.